Hey YouTube, my name's Susan and welcome to my channel. I took a long hiatus from making videos because I wasn't exactly sure what type of content I wanted to make, and I got caught up with school and other things, but now I'm finally back. So welcome to my first video that I've made since I think 2016. Yeah, I don't know, it's been a long time. I know Trump wasn't around, so like it was good back then. Like it was a good time. So today what I wanted to talk about was being a lesbian in 2018 and what it's like. Hypothetically speaking, I think a lot of people get caught up in thinking that because marriage is legal now, that like a lot of the problems that we as a community, the LGBTQ+ community, have faced are now gone. But in reality, like there's a lot of things that lesbians and queer and people of non-straight sexualities like still go through. And I wanted to discuss them today in a little video. So definitely one of the things that I think that I struggle with the most being a lesbian in 2018 is that my label that I have felt comfortable with is never enough for a lot of people. I've had a lot of times when I've come out to people, especially at work, where I've said like, oh, like I'm a lesbian, and they've sat there and been like, but are you a lesbian or are you like bi? What did I just tell you? Literally, I just said to your face, I said I'm a lesbian. I didn't say I'm a lesbian and put like a little asterisk on the top corner, like, oh, like read below, like at the bottom of the page, it'll let you know like the real definition, like the real definition. And it's wicked annoying because I have to sit there and explain myself. Well, I mean, I actually don't have to explain myself, but I'm the type of person where I feel kind of uncomfortable, and I'll just like explain how I feel about myself and my sexuality and how I define it, and explain that no, it does not mean I'm bi. But there's some little asterisks I have for my own being, I guess. Another struggle I think that lesbians face in 2018 is that some people don't take your sexuality seriously when they try to enter some form of a relationship with you. I feel like there's a lot of girls who are questioning and exploring and like just want to like see what there is to the other side of this magical world that we have, and like that's totally cool and I'm totally down for that. But you gotta kind of sit there and have a conversation with me first. Like if you're gonna come and we're gonna go on dates and you're gonna be into me or seemingly be into me and I'm gonna catch feelings, but at the end of the day you had no intentions of having an emotional relationship at all, it's not really fair to me. And I understand being completely curious about, you know, like physicality between you and another woman, and that's completely cool and completely fair to go and get into, but don't put me at risk. It's not fair to put the person that you're with in the type of position where they could get hurt and could just be used in the sense of figuring out what the other person is. Because if you don't let the other person know that you're just exploring and you're just curious and you just want to see, then they might catch feelings and ultimately get hurt at the end of the day, and that's not cool. Another struggle I feel like lesbians face in 2018 is in a relationship. I know that when I go out with my girlfriend and we go to a bar and we're like all over each other and like kissing on each other, it's a show. Like it is a show for everybody that's around, and everybody feels the need that we're a TV screen and they can just stare, like openly stare and not look away. It's one of those things where I'm confident enough, my girlfriend's confident enough to, you know, be able to sit and handle it appropriately for the most part. Granted, we've said some things that we probably shouldn't say and all that, but like whatever, we handled it. But ultimately it's a struggle to go out and feel comfortable in your own skin and feel comfortable dancing around with your significant other and, you know, kiss my girlfriend in public without thinking that someone's gonna watch and make creepy comments at us. And that's the sad reality, is that every time we go out, that happens consistently. There's never been one time that we've gone out to the bar that someone has not made a comment to us while we kissed or while we danced or while we held hands or while we looked deep in each other's eyes. And it's confusing to me because I wonder why people look at two people in love and think of them as two sexual objects. I guess ultimately at the end of the day, that's something that still needs to be changed, is the culture that we portray. Not we as like a unit of the LGBT community, but like as a society, the culture that we portray around lesbians and taking them as sexual objects. In theory, some might take it positively because we're able to pass more in public and, you know, not physically get hurt, at least where I'm from. But ultimately, I don't want to be used as a sexual object. I don't want to be seen as a sexual object, and I don't want to be portrayed as a sexual object. So why can't I be portrayed as the relationship that I have? So that's definitely something that I think in 2018 we still deal with, is that our image is not up to the likeness of a straight couple. There's actually an incident this one time where me and my girlfriend were at a bar. We were waiting in line, and I turned and kissed her. Just a little kiss on the lips, like nothing crazy. It's not like we were like really making out. And these two boys behind us go, oh, that's so hot. And I turned around and I said, is it hot? Is it really hot? And I got a little bit into it. I was pretty pissed, but one of the things I said to him was, do you look at other straight couples that are around us and do you think that they're hot? Do you think all the couples over there are hot when they kiss? And it aggravated me because it's true. If me and my girlfriend are hot, a couple that's standing in front of you, what's the difference between us and another couple that's around? Because in theory, if we're in a relationship, we're exclusive, just like that other couple is. Well, hypothetically exclusive. We are exclusive, but just to broaden the little picture. But it's one of those things that still happens to this day, is that people don't accept that because I'm a lesbian, because I have a girlfriend, that we are a partner, we are a pair, we are exclusive, and we don't need someone else. Another struggle I think in 2018 that is hard for lesbians to deal with is that when we get flirted with, our sexuality isn't an answer, on top of the fact of our potential relationship status. If someone comes up to me and flirts with me and I say that I have a girlfriend, people think I'm using it as an excuse. The truth of the matter is, it's not an excuse, it's the truth. I do have a girlfriend, and I don't want you to be a part of it. Also, when I say I have a girlfriend, people will either take it as me trying to reject them but not knowing what to say, or as an invitation that they can tag along. And that's just disgusting, because why, if I'm in an exclusive relationship, are you to tag along? At no point in this conversation or this interaction between the two of us have I mentioned that we're in an open relationship and that we're looking for another partner, or we're looking for a third, or we're looking for someone else to just come and spend the night. And it's frustrating because if I sit there and you walk up to me and you say, hey, you're wicked cute, can I buy you a drink? I say, I'm almost set, like I'm in a relationship. Why would you fight me on it? The thing is that most times if you say you have a boyfriend, I feel like 50-50, you'll get like a, oh, well, whatever, or oh, okay, cool, and they'll walk away. But I feel like most of the times when you say I have a girlfriend, it sparks a conversation and it almost eggs it on. So it leads me to sit there and be like, well, do I lie? Or do I just flat out reject somebody? Like, do I sit there and look at the man in the face and say, no, I don't want that? Because then I risk being called a bitch, or I risk being called something derogatory or something mean, when at the end of the day, I just don't want it. I just don't want you. I don't want anybody else. I just want the one person I have. Or maybe I just don't want anyone in your gender at all. Another struggle I think lesbians face in 2018 is that girls are fucking nutty. I'm just kidding, kind of. But honest to God, girls are fucking crazy. Like, am I wrong? No, I'm not. You know I'm not. You really know I'm not. You know you're thinking of one person right now in particular that's damn crazy. Another struggle in 2018 that I feel like lesbians face is clothing. As silly as that sounds, I feel like now more than ever, it's been a more open thing to choose whatever you want to wear and dress however you want to dress. But I feel like with that, you get a lot of invalidation towards you if you're not wearing a certain type of clothing. Like, I remember when I first came out, I felt compelled to wear like kind of manly clothes and button-ups and whatnot. And granted, some days I still enjoy wearing those, not gonna lie. But it's definitely not what I thought it was gonna be for me when I originally started wearing them. And I think the struggle is when you first come out or you first walk into this world is you don't necessarily know how to identify yourself within these borders. And sometimes while you're questioning, you might look at yourself in the mirror and be like, I love wearing dresses and I love doing my hair and I love doing my makeup, so how am I supposed to identify with this sexuality that portrays itself in a different way? And the truth is those are just stereotypes, and those are things that we think inside of ourselves that aren't true in the basis of the whole world. I mean, how many girls do you know that identify as something other than straight that don't look like they dress in, manly clothes? I love wearing hats. Hats are one of my favorite things to wear. Like, honestly, like, I'm down for a hat like any day of the week. But does that change who I am as a person? I feel like it's a struggle to sit there and be like, well, I kind of like wearing this sometimes, but I don't necessarily like wearing it other times. To struggle to sit and find like self-identity within this identity that you just found within yourself. But when it comes to sexuality, there's no clothing that defines your sexuality. I don't automatically become more gay once I toss this hat on backward. And I don't automatically become more straight when I straighten my hair. No pun intended. Another struggle that lesbians face in 2018 is just visibility. Honest to God, I can only imagine what it was like 10 years ago. And compared to what we have now, compared to what we had then. The thing is though, you can't be satisfied with like small bits of change. Visibility is still a huge issue for the LGBT community in all sections. The thing is that visibility can be changed by individuals along with the general majority of the world. I make myself more visible being an out woman and being open and, able to have conversations with people. One of my favorite things is sitting down with someone who has a lot of questions, who may have never had like a gay friend in their life. Because surprisingly enough, I've met people who have never been close with a lesbian before. And there's a lot of questions that people have, because that's one of the things is you have questions about things you don't know about. And I think changing the visibility of the world is being able to be open and have those conversations with people, because then that spark change within them, and then they can go and pass on that knowledge to other people. And then with that, you create a culture around you of people that are accepting and inviting and loving of you. And not just you, they're accepting, loving, and inviting of you and people of your likeness. Okay guys, that's all I have for my first video. Thank you so much for watching if you made it all the way to the end. Comment below any struggles that you think I missed. Comment below suggestions for new videos or any comments you'd like to make of any sort. Subscribe, like, all that totally fun stuff. If you want, you can follow my Insta right up here. That'd be totally cool. Follow my Tumblr. Another thing that's totally cool. Thank you guys so much, and I hope you have a really, really gay day.